This is SJ Talks in Life coming back at you. um, I noticed that um, Peach McIntyre is, I guess she's going through some stuff with her husband. I guess they're allegedly, I don't know. She's allegedly going through some things with her husband, a possible divorce. I don't know. Um, but that's not really what I want to talk about. But I was thinking about that when I was thinking about that when I was thinking about how, because I think I'm an empath. I think I am an empath. I realized that actually an empath, and never knew it had a name, because it's like when it's like I'm almost affected by everything. If I see somebody, I don't like seeing people in pain. I don't like seeing people hurt. Um, if I read things in the news, I have to limit my news watching, even though I get news alerts on my phone, because I'm literally affected by everything. I'm literally affected by everything. Man, I don't have to know the person, but if I hear of something horrible happening, um, a lot of times it just brings me to tears. I hear about something terrible happening to someone in the news or something like that, I just break out in tears. I don't have to know the person. Um, and I literally find myself being affected. I used to be addicted to the soap operas. Let me know in the comment section if you guys ever been addicted to the soap operas. My youngest son, I actually named my youngest son Edmund. I named him. I used to watch this soap opera called The Guiding Light that came on CBS, and I thought I told that story, but I thought I was having a girl, and I was watching them. Trying to make a long story short, and I was watching The Guiding Light, which was one of my favorite soap operas, and I had a girl's name all picked out, and it dawned on me, well, I better think of a boy's name just in case I happen to be wrong, because I like to be surprised. And they had this character on there named Edmund, and he was a bad guy. He kept going back and forth. He was a bad guy, then he was a good guy, then he was a bad guy. They just kept going back and forth, and he was a really big deal on that show. Then it was like, oh, Edmund this, Edmund that, because he was a really big deal because he was something else. And I just happened to be watching that, and I said, huh, Edmund, I like that name. I don't. There's no black boys named Edmund. I mean, it's very, very unusual. It's a very unique name for a black boy. I said, I like that. I like the sound of that. So when he came out, the doctor, she actually thought that he was a girl because he had a head full of jet black curly hair. And then she flipped him over. I said, I knew it. It was, and I looked down and I see something dark between his legs. I said, and come to find out he was a boy. And I said, well, okay, well, I mean, it is. So, um, I used to be hooked on the soap operas. I'm not trying to get off subject, but I used to be hooked on the soap operas because that hence the name, my youngest son's name, Edmund, off Edmund on the Guiding Light. And every time I would watch the soap operas, and one of my favorite characters would die or something would happen, I would get so emotionally invested in the soap operas. I would be sitting up there crying like they're real people. I'd be in tears like these people are real people, and it's a show, and I would be watching it and crying, and somebody die on there. I'm like, oh, be sitting up there crying like they one of my family members. Like I'm crying like they a family member or something. So, um, and I guess sometimes when you everybody, if a person is watching you watching a sad movie or something like that, but I'm literally I can literally be affected by everything. And so my point is where I'm going with this is that um when I'm watching these YouTubers, she's not somebody I watch on a regular basis, but I've been kind of watching her here lately because a lot has been going on with her. um, but when I watch some of my favorite YouTubers, I sometimes get emotionally invested in their lives. I care. Start. Um, I get emotionally invested in them, and and then if something happens to them or something bad happens, then I'm gonna be emotionally affected by it in some way, form, or fashion. If they're one of my favorite YouTubers and I'm watching them all the time. But the problem is, this is what the problem is, and I was thinking that it's hard to pray for these YouTubers because the problem is that people are so people want to make money so bad here on YouTube that they'll conjure up any storyline, or um they'll do just about anything to get clicks and views. They'll make up. I tell you, Hollywood needs to check for some of these people. If Hollywood wants to scout for talent, they need to check YouTube because there is some phenomenal actors on here on YouTube. Here on YouTube, there's some great actors. I mean, some of them are Academy Award winners on here. I'm serious. They're Academy Award winners because they can create a scenario and they can make it seem so real, and with the emotions, and because when I was in high school, you know I used to act. I did a play in high school. I did one in college, and I used to be into acting, and one of the things about acting is that you have to really become the person, whatever you're trying to portray. You have to really really be get your mind into it. You got to really really become that in order for the character to be really convincing. And there is some Academy Award winners on here, I'm telling you. There's some Academy Award winners because these some of these YouTubers are very very good actors. They're very good actors because they can create a scenario. They have the ability to create a scenario and make that thing sound so real. You be like, and me, I do believe, I really do believe that I have empath, how do I want to say that? That I'm an empath. I have empathic qualities because I'll get so emotionally invested. I'll be like, oh, and they'll start crying, oh, and then I'll start, tearing up, and they can really, really conjure up a scenario or a story and make it sound so real and so convincing. And it really, really have you emotionally. That's the next thing you know, you praying for them and everything. And what messed me up is the situation with CJ Cool about uh his what's her name, royalty, and the kids leaving him and all this kind of stuff. And I prayed about that situation. And next thing you know, they back over there and everything like nothing never happened. So I'm beginning to believe that that was done for views. I'm beginning to think that that was done for views because before that happened, he didn't have as many views as he had when after that happened. Then he got his views really really increased when after that happened. And so I noticed a pattern with him that he'll put specific topics on or uh and after that happened, during the process of time she was gone, he was like, oh, am I getting back with my baby mama and stuff like that, having videos with those topics to garner more views, clicks and views. So these YouTubers know how to play on your emotions to get more clicks and views. And I'm like, I'm a little bit at my wits end. I said, because I'm not finna, because you know I pray for people, but I got to use discernment on who to pray for, because I'm not finna pray for somebody that is making up a scenario. I don't have time to be praying for folks that is making up stuff. That's making up stuff to get clicks and views. So, and it's like the boy that cried wolf. Cause like, what if something really does happen to them, and then folks really say, "Oh, that's for views, is fake," and they don't pray for them, and they really do need prayer. So this is the reason why they shouldn't do that. It's like the boy that cried wolf. It's literally like the boy that cried wolf. So the situation with Peach, I don't know. I said, well, I don't know whether to pray for her. She really seems like she's in a lot of pain, because she came on here a few weeks ago saying she was getting a divorce, and then turn around and say, no, we're going to try to work it out. Now that we're going to go ahead and move forward with our divorce, and she on here and she's crying and all this kind of stuff, oversharing, telling extremely personal things and all this stuff. And I'm being my regular empathic self, saying, oh, feeling bad, maybe I should pray for her. And I'm like, then I stopped and thought, well, I don't know if I should pray for her or not, because I don't know whether this is real, or is it real, or is it fake, or I'm not finna, I don't have time to be praying for people that is making up stuff. With all the things, terrible things that's happening in the world, I could be using those prayers on someone that really needs it, instead of praying for somebody that is just making up stuff just to get clicks and views. So it's like you kind of second guess yourself. I don't know about everybody else, but I know I'm at a place kind of at my wits end with these YouTubers. It's like, I said, because I don't know whether to pray for them, or whatever the situation is. I said, because you don't know if they're making up stuff for views. They're creating a scenario, a storyline, just to get clicks and views, or if it's really real and this is really what's going on in their life. So it's like, I'm telling you, I said, who needs soap operas when you got YouTube? And so that you just I'm telling you, there's some phenomenal actors on YouTube, phenomenal actors and actresses. But I'm like at my wits end, because I said I don't know whether to pray for them, and I said I don't want to. I feel kind of stupid praying for people that, and then the next thing you know, it's not real. You done faked it to get clicks and views, or you faking being stalked, or whatever the situation is. Like with another YouTuber I'm not going to mention, um, to get clicks and views. And that is not okay. That is not okay, because I have a tendency to get emotionally invested, you know, and but you don't know what's real. And I guess that's where discernment comes in at. I guess that's what prayer for myself, and asking God who to pray for, and who know what God, who should I pray for? Should I pray for them? And maybe, be led by the Holy Spirit, and pray and ask God, Jehovah God, to give me Holy Spirit, to grant me Holy Spirit, so and give me discernment, so I can know who to pray for and who not to pray for. Because you just can't believe everything that these YouTubers, because they be lying. You don't know whether whether it's real or fake. Because they make it sound so convincing. I just don't know what to do. So hit me up in the comment section if that's what your issue is, and let me know what your thoughts are on that. That's what I was thinking about the situation. I want to pray for it, but I don't know whether it's real or not. Okay, hit that subscribe button. Till the next